I bet on my club. Yeah, I bet on my club.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself. I don't need you, I do it myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Okay, dream so big that they think I'm crazy. Let out the beast, no, they can't tame me. Don't play with me, better mind your business. I cannot stop now, I ain't finished. I'ma keep on going till I got that. Okay, the way that I'ma do it, they can't top that. No way. Critics trying to hate, but I don't talk back, I know that. Plotting on the kid with the bull, tell him all that. I'm the one that I'ma gamble on.
Shoveling the
Welcome and thank you for watching For Fantasy's Sake, the Quad City's first and only fantasy football
What's so
show.
funny?
I was interrupted by my child.
She was screaming about shoveling, right? Is she
Yes.
gonna go out and shovel?
Yes.
What?
She wants me to shovel.
Oh no, she wants you to shovel. She's not gonna shovel.
No, she says she's a girl. She doesn't shovel. That's a man job.
I don't think that's a real thing.
I don't think so either, but here we are. All right. So I am your host, Doug. I don't leave the house, so I don't feel the need to shovel. Green. He is DJ. I shovel because I enjoy it. Jarvis. And Mason is I still looking for my snow pants and moon boots. Lance. All right. So yesterday was a big day for us. My cats have decided to also go off the deep end. We went out, spent a crap ton of money, and tried to make some folks, some kids have a happier Christmas this year. Donald, why don't you tell us all about the endeavor?
I'm kind of curious what the measurable crap ton is.
Well, I know a buttload is 2,000 gallons, so a crap ton would be equal to 2,000. Yeah, 2 crap tons.
All right, whatever that is. That's true. That we did spend 2 crap tons of dollars. Yeah, so shout out to the people at Ollie's in Moline for being very generous towards us, helping us get some toys over there. Then we spent like $250 over there, and then we went to Walmart. And let me tell you what. So making sure you spend copious amounts of money right on the dot is very anxiety inducing, at least on my end.
I think it's funny to watch it freak out.
Yeah. So I freaked out for people who weren't there. I freaked out because I'm like, oh, we've got more money to spend. And then as they're like, beep, 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 beep. Is that the noise that it makes, you think, Doug?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
As they're doing that, and I'm watching the number grow on the thing, I'm starting to get anxiety. And I know we've got a couple like higher end things that we had, and I'm like, let's ring this up last. Like
By higher end, he means like we're still under $50 on the item. Okay, it's not like we're pushing through Xboxes.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like it's half of the 100. So, but it was really cool. So we spent a little over $4,000. So shouts to everybody who played in our league. I know we'll have one more next year because now we know Mason, and we know Mason. We'll force Mason to play.
Yeah.
Did you hear him that time, Doug?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
we raised
He's back.
just over $4,000. I think that bought us a little over or a little under, around 300 toys, filled
4.5 carts at Walmart and 7 donation boxes at the Toys for Tots drop-off.
And my wife's van. So we had 4 people and all of these toys stuffed in my wife's Chrysler Voyager. What was really impressive is that nothing like we had to like kind of hold the things as we opened the hatch so it didn't avalanche out, but nothing fell out when we had more things fall out of our carts leaving the Walmart than we had fall out of the hatch. So that was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody who played in the leagues, everybody who donated. Special shout out to Ryan Jaster and the folks at our Quad Cities for getting us on TV to promote us. It was a very special thing. I'm not humbled a whole lot, but yesterday was a very humbling experience. I think that last year we kind of missed it because of some miscommunication with the Toys for Tots people, but the gratefulness when we roll up with a van full of toys, just how much those people appreciated it goes a long way. I know we're at over $10,000 raised over the last 5 years. What would be super cool is if we can do that again next year and get $10,000 next year. Yeah, Doug's got some pictures here of all the things. I don't think the picture even truly recognizes how much stuff is in this van. We've got
I'm getting Joe for scale.
Yeah, Joe for scale somewhere.
I don't know how long it takes these images to load, but
yeah, so we've got obviously from top to bottom, from the back seats or the front seats all the way back, completely full of toys. We had toys stacked up between Doug and Joe in the back seat. So really a big deal. Again, thank you for everybody who played, everybody who donated. We couldn't do any of this without you guys. A lot of people want to, have me pat myself on the back for this. You guys are the ones who make it. I just collect everybody in one spot. Here we go. Doug's uploading image 2456. And we've got Joe for scale. So that's how many toys were stacked in this car. The only two things we bought that we did not fit in the car, and we could have put it at Doug and Joe's feet, is we bought.
We could actually just help them.
Yeah, we bought 2 scooters. So there's the only 2 things we did not fit in the van. And CZ. We did not fit CZ in the van. That would have been, he would have had to sit on a throne of toys. So,
of lies.
Yeah, that too. So, yeah, and before we get to the thing, shout out to my mother-in-law who's still leading the ladies league. This is the last week of the regular season for them. So she is in first place. She will likely go into, I guess we're just going to have toys up the whole time, which is fine. I like that.
Sure.
She'll likely go into the, I love this. This is fantastic. We definitely need to keep Joe up for sure. Yeah, let's just keep this up. It's like when the newscast back in the day used to do the newscast with all the toys up behind them. So she'll go into the playoffs as the 1 seed. We've got our grand champion playoffs for the general league. Those kicked off on Thursday. Those are this week. So basically what happened is we split the 204 teams in the general league in half, 102. The top 102 scorers, plus anybody who finished the top 2 in their division all made the playoffs. If you are, I guess, not finished, but through week 13, because there's 14 weeks in the regular season, something I'm going to fix for next year. Probably, maybe not. Who knows?
Way to deliver on your campaign promises.
Yeah, I said maybe. Who knows? I always forget about that. I always think about how are we going to raise more money this year, not how are we going to make this easier on me. So anybody who is top 2 in their division through 13 weeks, they automatically got a bye into week 15. Anybody else in the top 102 in scoring, they play this week. We did have a team finish top 2 in their division that was not top 102 in scoring, so they got in. And then we had a team that was 0.36 points off the cut line. And me being generous, and it's a charity league, I let them in. So we have 104 teams in the playoffs. Weeks 14 and 15, you get both your score for this week plus your weeks 1 through 13 average.
So big number.
We're going to have teams score probably 400 points this week. But especially with teams on a bye, like Christian McCaffrey, those teams that were up there don't have Christian McCaffrey this week. So we're kind of giving them a little bit of a, hey, we understand that. We understand we're starting the playoffs where the NFL wants to do. bye weeks. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've got 5 teams. I had 5 teams this year, and 3 of them are in the playoffs. So hopefully I win. I don't have to do a Ruxin from the league. I put this league together every year, and never do I win. So hopefully this
You're on the wrong show.
I know.
Nobody who knows who Rucksack is.
All right, Doug. Let's get into the real stuff. This is the last week of the regular season in most places.
Yes. So we've got a little tired or wired this morning. Starting off, we're going to see how you boys feel about 16 playoffs.
I love them. I think that if it's just the top 4, which is what most leagues are, then kind of kills the fun for some of the middle tier teams that don't really get a chance to make the playoffs. And so that's why I set up my personal league. 6 teams make it out of 12. So that's how I feel. What about you?
I think. Do you want to go ahead, Doug? For
Mediocrity. Participation trophy. No, I'm kidding. No, for the most part, the 12 team leagues, that's the hard line to find between the 6 and the 4. I generally lean more towards 4 just to make it a little bit more competitive, but I mean, depends on how competitive or casual that league is.
So I'm in a couple of leagues where we have 12 teams and 7 make the playoffs. So the number, just the first place team gets a bye. That seventh seed goes to the top remaining scorer after the top 6. I'm in the position where I think even in 10 team leagues, I'm okay with 6 making it in. But I think that other than 10 team leagues, having more than half of the teams make the playoffs is too many. So I think 12. I think 6 is perfect for 12. I think 6 is even perfect for 14. Anything more than that, you're kind of getting into a lot of little goofiness as far as league settings. But I'm good at 6. Whether that's 10, 12, 14 teams, 6 is a happy number. I don't mind like the thought behind 7 teams making the playoffs and giving that last to the top remaining scorer, because a lot of times you'll have a team finish like 2 games under 500 but be the top scorer in the league. So I don't mind like setting up a way for them to get in, but you can do that with the 6 seed too. I mean, it's fun. I think that the more you let in, the more chance you have for parity, where the best team in the league doesn't win the championship. But whatever, letting somebody in, that giving that last seed again to somebody who was your top scorer does more allow the best team to maybe get into the playoffs. But that lends into why I like the game against the median, because even if you're going, there's 14 weeks, so even if a team's going 6 and 8, if you're playing against the median, they're the top scorer. They're realistically probably something closer to like 18 and 10. But
yeah,
I know Doug hates the game against the median, so
I do.
I know. I remember that was one of my first episodes I was on, talked about that, and he talked about how against it he was. But no, the 12 or the 6 teams, at least in my personal league, in 2 of the 3 years that we've done the league, the last seed has won it. So kind of like you said with the parity, I like giving the teams that are average a chance, because sometimes they'll go on run in the playoffs and win it all.
Yeah.
So do you like
I said,
the
it
2 week?
depends on how competitive that league is.
Yeah. Do you like the 2 week championships?
I do not want 2 weeks. I just want 1 week, and I just want to get it over with. I don't want to, I guess there is credence to it. But I also don't want to be playing in the playoffs for like 6 weeks. So I could see a world. I got to say this for Joe. There's a world where I think it makes sense with like if you go with 12 teams and 4 make the playoffs, which would be kind of cool. Where you do 2 weeks first round, 2 weeks second round. But Too many variables.
Yeah.
Speaking of variables, our next wired or tired, hot or not, I don't remember the name of the segment. Jahmyr Gibbs at the 101 in 2026.
You want to go first, DJ?
I don't know that there's an argument against it.
I don't know if there's an argument for it.
There's definitely an argument for
I
it.
know.
Or no. Like I guess realistically, both things are correct. If there's not an argument against it, there's definitely not an argument for it because nobody's arguing. He's been like a healthier, faster version of CMC when CMC was awesome. He's out there scoring like 30 points a week. I think I saw a stat or something like that, like 21 times him and David Montgomery have both scored in the same game in their career. And this is what Jahmyr Gibbs' fourth year. And you got to think, so in over a season's worth of those games, his backup or his tandem backfield mate has scored a touchdown, and he's still, RB1 or RB2 when you look at those years combined. So I think I can't think of anybody who I would say for sure. You got to like throw in Joe Burrow's health when you think of Jamar Chase. You got to think of the age when you throw in Christian McCaffrey. And I don't know that there's maybe JSN, especially if, they still have Darnold out there who's willing to just kind of toss the ball up. But other than that, I don't know that there's anybody I can even brainwave.
Yeah, I don't think I would be as set on him being the first pick. I think that at least for me, his variation between games kind of sucks. Like if you're relying on him, where he'll have 55 points or he'll have 7 or 11, which 11's fine, but
Has he had a 7 or 11 this year?
he has. He's had a couple of them. He's had a 7. He's had a 5. He's had an 11. So he hasn't had many of them, but that I still don't like because I feel like those games are Montgomery games.
Yeah.
But he's the number 2 overall scorer in fantasy, so I don't see why he could or why he shouldn't be. But like you said, you have those guys like JSN, Jonathan Taylor, I think is another one that'll be considered for the first pick. And then obviously the Jamar Chase will be up there like usual. Achan probably going to be top 6.
Yeah, Achan's interesting.
But yeah, I don't see an argument against it, but I do see other guys that can definitely be the first pick as well.
I think it comes down to scoring settings and preference a little bit there. The scoring settings are still swung heavily towards wide receivers. So I still think that if I'm holding the 101, I'm looking at a wideout before I'm looking at Gibbs. But that's just me.
Here's a flip-flop argument here.
Okay.
Trey McBride.
As the 101?
Yep, get by far the best tight end, statistical advantage. I'm definitely just being an idiot here, but
I got to see first round for sure.
Oh yeah, oh definitely first round, like maybe like 5th or 6th.
Yeah,
He scored 31 more points than the tight end 2 this year.
And honestly, that's a lot lower number than I assumed it would be. Who's tight end 2?
Travis Kelce.
Actually?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sorry. That was standard for some reason. Fantasy Pro still likes standard. So he has scored 53 more than tight end 2, which is Jake Ferguson in PPR. So
gotcha. Yeah, that's nuts.
And then Kelce is tight end 3, 7 points behind Jake Ferguson, who's already played this week. So yeah, Kelce likely tight end 2 after the end of the week.
Yeah.
Let's get to this question real quick. Jacob Pickron 261 wants to know Jalen Warren or Kyle Monangai.
Okay, all
Monanga's
together.
Green Bay.
I mean, gut for me says Jalen Warren. I know that Monangai was awesome last week, even splitting carries with Swift, but you're not going to have a whole lot of weeks where two running backs rush for 125 yards. Baltimore's defense has been a little bit better than they were early in the year. But you got to think the majority of the touches still go to Warren. I know that Kenneth Gainwell steals some touches here and there, but Monangai is RB1B in Chicago. So like I said, not a whole lot of times where you're going to see two guys rush for 125 yards in the same game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I lean Warren here as well, just because it's the first game against the Packers. Packers are going to try and limit that run game and try and put the game in the hands of Caleb Williams. So we'll see. So I think that the ground yards will be tough for them. So I think I'd lean Warren on that question.
The one thing I like about Monangai is that he's gotten a touchdown in his last 4 games, so he seems to be getting the goal line touches. And so for me, that they're kind of similar rankings based on running backs weekly, and so I think Warren probably has a safer floor. But if you want that touchdown upside, then I think probably go Baltimore, because Pittsburgh's starting Mason Rudolph this week, or is Rodgers back?
Rodgers is playing.
Is he? Yeah, I'd probably say for the floor Warren, but if you think that the Bears can get inside the 10, then start Monangai for those touchdown opportunities.
Then Jacob's second question is for defense: Dolphins, Ravens, or Eagles? Sure, probably the Dolphins playing the Jets. That would be where I would lean, but I'm not a big defense guy, so
Yeah, I'd probably go. Who do the Eagles play? Am I missing it?
the Eagles play the Chargers
Play the
Monday
Chargers.
night.
Oh, that's why I wasn't saying it. I'd probably go Baltimore.
Against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodgers will always give you one somewhere along the line.
All right, let's play a quick commercial and then we'll be right back.
Durham Remodeling has been serving the Quad Cities area since 1973, and with over 50 years of excellence on their track record, you'll see why it's so easy to trust their experts when it comes to all of your home improvement projects. This family-owned business has you covered on all your needs. Protect your home or building from the elements today and get great roof repair services. Need new windows? No problem. Durham Remodeling can upgrade your windows and doors. Whether you want to upgrade the little details in your home or office, or want to tear a room down and start fresh, the expert contractors at Durham Remodeling have your back. Even the smallest changes can completely transform your space. Ready to start entertaining your friends for backyard barbecues? Durham Remodeling will help you plan, design, and build your deck and patio for the perfect outdoor space. Durham Remodeling's work is 100% guaranteed, so you can rest assured that you're getting the best service around. Call 309-786-6715 today for your free estimate for all your roofing, siding, flooring, windows, and painting needs. That's Durham Remodeling, 309-786-6715.
I just saw a funny meme on the scrolling through the Facebook, and it's at the Big 10 or the Big 12 championship yesterday. and it's at the bar on the BYU side of the field, and they're like, "Hey, Texas Tech fans, maybe go to that bar."
Surprised they had a bar on the BYU side of the field.
I'm sure whoever was working the bartender, they were sad to not get any tips, but at the same time, they were just kind of just chilling there.
Yeah.
I saw Rich Eisen put up a post this morning that said, "Will the committee put Ohio State back at number 1 because they have a better loss over Indiana?"
Indiana doesn't have a loss.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to some fantasy Tinder. Doug's going to call an audible just because I saw something that is reminded me of over here on the ESPN Fantasy Show. What is your expectations on Luther Burden today with Roma Dunzeya?
Well, you're the Bears fan, so I think you should give your opinion first.
Yes, where's Joe when I need him? Burden's been a little bit kind of up and down. Like some weeks they'll throw him like 5 balls and he looks pretty good, and then other weeks they forget that he's on the roster. Hopefully this week will be more of the former than the latter, just simply because Rome's out. But again, PTSD Bears fan, when it's Packers week, anything can happen. The wildest crap, most unthinkable thing can happen. So you're never quite sure as to anything. So you're always kind of going, well, it could be this, but it might be that. And worst case scenario is this, and it might be a little bit worse than that. So, it's one of those things of being that close to it almost is worse. You really do need that outsider perspective just because they don't have that PTSD that goes with it.
I agree with Brian. I think that it's weird because, I know that you say that with Burden, but I feel like that's the case with every Bears pass catcher is they disappear for like random weeks on end. I think somebody might tell Caleb, "Hey, you got Luther Burden this week," and he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then there's also a chance he just doesn't catch a single pass. It's weird. I think that he has a flex option because he is the second option behind Moore. So if you're looking for that, I think I'm willing to start him in the flex, but you got to know that his floor is literally 0. His ceiling is probably somewhere in the 20s because he could get slippery and score a couple touchdowns, but his floor is literally 0.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think he's a very risky start. Rome hasn't been doing much the last few weeks, so I don't really think that his opportunity is going to be as large as people think. But maybe that's just me speaking from looking at the numbers and not actually watching the Bears games.
You box score watcher.
I am. It sounds like it, but for fantasy's sake,
There you go.
$10.
I would not feel comfortable starting him this week. But a lot of times things go opposite of what I say, so that probably means start him.
Looking at Rome's PPR finishes, so week 2 against Detroit, he was wide receiver 4. Week 8 against Baltimore and week 10 against the Giants, wide receiver 8. He has a couple like wide receiver 2, so like in the 12 to 24 range. Week 1, 19, week 3, 20, week 4, 17. But he also has finishes of wide receiver 64, 63, 54, 39, 82, and 98.
Huh.
So week 9 against Cincinnati, he had 3 targets for no catches and no yards. On Black Friday, he had 6 targets for 2 catches and 8 yards. So There are the situations where Roma Dunze does not exist in the Bears offense for some reason. I mean, he definitely doesn't exist this week, but how does Burden benefit? Like against Cincinnati, I'm assuming he was inactive because he did not have a single catch. Against Dallas in week 3, where they won 31-14, he was wide receiver 10, had 3 catches for 101 yards and a score. So the potential is there, like we said, but there's also the potential to zero. Zero is the floor. So if you start Luther Burden, know that you might get a 0.
Can you say 0 one more time?
0.
Thank you. All right. Speaking of zeros, we're going to move on to the actual questions that are on the sheet. For Fantasy Tinder, can't start a Chiefs offensive player this week.
I'm gonna swipe left because I still think that you probably start Rashee Rice. I think that they'll do some quick stuff to Rashee Rice, but I think that there's a potential that they're terrible, and this is like the Super Bowl all over again.
Do you think you bench Kelsey, even if you have him? I feel like he's a guy you can't really.
I feel like you probably don't have a backup to Kelsey.
Yeah.
That's where, I mean, though one of the leagues I have Kelsey and I have Tyler Warren, so definitely going Tyler Warren. But like, yeah, I wouldn't go Worthy or Hunt.
No.
Pacheco.
I wouldn't go Worthy or Hunt against Cincinnati. So
That's
no,
fair.
like you said, Rasheed and Kelsey are the only ones that should even be
I'd
considered
even-
starting.
Honestly, I'd even look to see what's out there for maybe not playing Mahomes. I mean, they're down 3 of their 5 offensive linemen. This could be a very long day. As a manager of Kansas City Chiefs players, if you guys want to vamp for a couple minutes, I can make a short list of players quarterbacks I'd rather have than Mahomes this week if you'd like me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you guys vamp for a second while I kind of look
You
over
pull up
some
the
things.
list of quarterbacks.
I
I don't
personally
want-
think you should never start any Chiefs anyway because they're all just bad.
All right,
I agree.
let me know when you're ready, guys.
Ready whenever.
Quarterbacks I'd rather play over Patrick Mahomes, down 3 offensive linemen against the best pass rush in the NFL. Josh Allen,
Second best.
Dak Prescott, obviously already played. Matthew Stafford, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff already played. Burrow, Lamar, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, and maybe CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud and Mahomes are probably on the same level there. And there's going to be other quarterbacks that outscore them. Maybe I'm going to reverse jinx this and they're going to be awesome, but
It'll be an offensive shootout.
maybe. I have low expectations against what they are going to be able to do. So I don't know that the combination of Wanye Morris, Mike Caliendo, and Jalen Moore could block Doug and I. Mason, you're a DB. You're clearly a DB, not a pass rusher. So
Yeah, 6'5" DB.
yeah,
I'm like a Tariq Woolen.
yeah.
Just as fast too.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna swipe left because you probably Rice and Kelsey, unless you have better choices for Kelsey. Rice is I think I'm probably as close to a must start at wide receiver outside of the star guys. I don't think that you can really ever bench
No.
Rice.
Since he's come back, he's been the wide receiver 1, I believe.
Yeah,
Or at least wide receiver
I think
2.
I
know he's
saw
top 2.
somewhere where I think he might be tied with JSN.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next up. So James Cook is a top 5 fantasy running back.
I definitely had other thoughts there, but yes. I did not express said thoughts, so
Yeah. there's the only guys above him. Actually, no. He'd be number 6 for me. Behind guys like CMC, Gibbs, Taylor, Bijan, HN. Those are guys I'd rather have over him. But I'd put him at 6, I think. And honestly, I'd maybe behind Jacobs too, because they were pretty much the same until Jacobs got hurt and missed that game and only scored 4 points against the Giants, I think it was. So honestly, I'd probably put him behind Jacobs too. So I'd put him at 7.
Yeah, I might go somewhere in that range. Maybe I think outside the top 5, just because Jared Allen also gets a lot of goal line work, but so does Josh Allen. So I think because of that kind of impacting Cook's numbers a little bit, I would push him down just a skosh.
Did you say A-Chain? Mason? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you're talking to me or Doug.
I think really realistically, I think Javonte Williams is in that conversation as well. Just did you say Javonte Williams? And I apologize if you did. I was also looking at things.
No, Javonte is right behind him.
Yeah.
For total points this year at 210.
I think based on the way they use Javonte, he's I like him a little bit better as well. Let's answer this question real quick. So Mason and I can research answers as well. Anthony wants to know, are there any rookies you guys think can break out in the fantasy playoffs? I'd really look at – go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I think that it's worth looking at like RJ Harvey's schedule. I'm going to pull that up real quick. Obviously, like you have Genty, but I don't think we're waiting for Genty to break out by any means. Wide receiver. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know if you were still talking. That's what I was gonna say about Harvey.
No, I was.
You saw my little rant a couple weeks ago, and you would know how passionate I am about RJ Harvey. He just scored like 21, I think, this last week against Washington. So I don't know if you consider it breaking out in the playoffs, but definitely him.
I will say, on the flip side of that, is the Broncos have. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos have the 32nd easiest schedule for running backs for the playoffs. They play Green Bay, Jacksonville, and Kansas City. So they have literally the hardest running back schedule. That's why I said, hey, maybe obviously look at the schedule, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get much going on the ground, but definitely he'll get the PPR catches, and that's kind of what made him viable this last week. He had a couple touchdowns, but
I'll tell you what, Denver way, especially if you're in like a keeper or dynasty and somehow he's available, like maybe you have a shallow bench, is I would look at Pat Bryant. I know that they really like him. He's kind of got like that Michael Thomas fit where he's really aggressive on the slant and can beat you there and then take that. So there's been flashes where if you're watching Denver games where you wonder if who's going to be that long-term guy. Obviously Nix has that connection with Franklin and everything like that, but Bryant looks really good at times. And now that's not just me being a homer of the Illinois guy, but a little bit it is. You can definitely see like once they can kind of build that connection, that Pat Bryant could be a really good fantasy option going forward.
It seems like they're kind of shifting away from Sutton.
Yeah.
Recently. And
what's his contract look like?
They just extended Sutton.
Really?
Yeah. Earlier this year, or the end of last year.
And July 2025, 4-year, $92 million.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it seems
be a
like
wide
they're kind of
receiver
shifting
3 on their
away
team.
I know. I still want them to draft a receiver too. So if for whatever reason Cardinal Tate wants to fall to 32, that's fine with me.
32, I love that.
other receivers or rookies though, like I wouldn't even consider Jackson Dart a breakout.
Yeah,
Because
that's
he
what's
was
tough
playing
is
like a
like
top.
so many of the good rookies, like so many of the rookies that you would expect to be guys that you're going to play in the next 3 weeks are guys that you've been playing. Dart, Amiko Buka, Peekaboo, Tet McMillan, Tyler Warren. Colston Loveland's a guy who could, if the Bears ever figure out that they can throw the ball, that the forward pass is allowed to the same guy multiple weeks in a row. Loveland could be an interesting stash and play.
Yeah, I really don't think rookies are doing much this year. To
Not like the
where,
guys who aren't already doing stuff. Like
yeah,
like you've
yeah,
got the
those
guys
guys.
who are already doing stuff, like Genty and like you said, Jackson Dart, the receivers. But
Yeah,
there's
so
not really anybody I can really like figure. I mean, if you're like my thing is like if you're in a dynasty league and you're out of it, start looking at like guys like Pat Bryant, Jalen Royals for the Chiefs, guys like that might be hanging out on the waiver wire because people are trying to win now, and they haven't done much. Start building your team for 2026. That's what's fun about Dynasty is like if you're out of it, why not take some rookie flyers and drop some older guys. Drop that backup quarterback who's actually like a real life NFL backup.
I believe his name was Tebow.
Okay. You don't need Jameis Winston if you're out of the running.
how long is Rome Odunze out? Because if he's out multiple weeks, I don't know what the extent of his injury is, and Luther Burden could be one of those rookies that could break out in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know it's a wrist, so
It's a foot. Week to week.
Stress.
Stress. He's been playing with the stress factor. He's not expected to be sidelined long term, but I mean, stress fractures in foots. That could be a 2-weeker. That could be a 3-weeker. So, I'd like to see I'm sure there's somebody out there if you pull up like on Sleeper or MFL. I don't know if ESPN tracks. I'm sure they do. Where you can be like, week 1, Luther Burden picked up. Week 3, Luther Burden dropped. Week 4, Luther Burden picked just like he's been dropped and picked back up 900 times. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's that borderline guy. All right, next up we have Devontae Adams' goal line fade is the new tush push.
Swipe right, super both as somebody who has Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams in multiple leagues. I think they said a couple weeks ago on Sunday Night Football he broke some record for 1-yard receiving touchdowns, which is immaculate for a guy who's not overly big. I don't know. Obviously Mason's not old enough to remember this, but Doug probably does, and I wish there was Chris Steele here. Adams was so bad, when he came in. He probably led. I'm gonna have to look this up, but
he did. He led the league.
He could not catch the football, and now you're thinking about Devontae Adams is probably on a list of maybe top 15 guys all time. Maybe even higher.
I was gonna say I almost do top 10.
Yeah, I'm sure Joe has an incredible take on that somewhere. But Devontae Adams has been awesome, especially for a guy who was not good.
I remember him at Fresno State with Carr being good. I remember that goal line fade being their thing.
Maybe Rodgers just threw the ball too hard for him his rookie year. I don't know because he was bad.
He didn't really get it till his 3rd year.
Yeah, Mason's dad would tell you about how often he dropped the ball.
I think it's impossible to guard Devontae one-on-one inside the 5, especially if they put him on the wide side of the field where he has all that space to work. Unless you have 2 on the other side of him, he's gonna score.
All righty. Last but not least, Trey McBride is the clear-cut dynasty tight end one.
100%.
I'm gonna go ahead.
Are you think it's someone else?
I'm gonna make a take here, a slight take, but it's where I'm gonna like swipe right, but I'm gonna like leave him in the matches. If he swipes right on me, I don't know why Trey McBride would ever swipe right on me. But if we match, I'm gonna swipe right, but if we match, I'm gonna leave it in the DMs. Just because I think that there is an avenue for Brock Bowers, there is an avenue for Tyler Warren. I think both of those guys are incredible. One of the things that Bowers that they do is he lines up as the number one wide receiver on, and I wish there's probably a statistic out there somewhere that tells me how often he lines up as the number one receiver, but it's a lot. They don't really have a whole lot of options in Vegas. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the offensive coordinator is calling the correct place, as opposed to where they came out and said Chip Kelly was calling like the wrong place. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I think this is probably McBride, but I think it's murky. I think that there's Warren and Bowers who can both kind of stake a claim at, hey, maybe we're the tight end ones.
I could see those two also. I mean, obviously they are two of the best young tight ends outside of McBride, but it's just McBride's production, which I am a little nervous about for next year, because I doubt they keep Brissett, and McBride's already good before him, but Brissett has just made him like a steady 20+ point a week
Right.
guy. So say you bring in they wouldn't be able to get him, but they bring in a rookie quarterback like Fernando Mendoza. You don't know how he's going to be in the NFL first year, so that is one thing that would make
Hey,
me
they still got
worry.
Kyler Murray under contract.
Yeah, but I don't see Kyler Murray being
No,
there,
I'm just kidding.
especially after they benched him.
Right.
Just
He
because of
should
his
play baseball.
age, he should. Just
Works
because of
for
his
Tim
age and
Tebow.
production, yeah, he's my number one in Dynasty for sure.
All right. Do we have a commercial for this break, or do you just
Nah,
want
let's keep rolling.
just roll? All righty. Next up, we have a little flex, marry, kill, or flex, start, cut, or whatever it's called. All right, let's start
You know what?
with.
How about you just name it whatever you want to, Doug?
All right, I will do that. We're going to call this whatever Doug wants. All right. First up, pick between Jordan Mason, Bam Knight, and Devin Neal.
I'm a Kansas guy, but I don't think I can go Devin Neal start. I'll go Bam and then Devin Neal and then Jordan Mason for me for start bench cut.
Yeah, I agree with Brian. Compelling show, I know.
Yes, I believe I do as well. Before we go any further, Deej, is this? When was the last time you updated these? Is there anybody out on this list before we move on to the next section?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Maybe Mason Rudolph. Yeah.
All right, we got some time before we get there. If you need to
Yeah.
audible him out. All right, at the wide receiver position, we have DK Metcalf, Cortland Sutton, and Deebo Samuel.
I'll go Debo 1 because he was really good when Jaden Daniels was in earlier in the year. He was a top 10 receiver. So curious to see how that connection is now that Jaden's back. But then I'd probably do Sutton second, DK third, or to kill DK because I don't like that offense. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has really been anyone who scares me or is a positive player for fantasy players around him.
See, I would probably go Deebo 1, DK 2, Cortland 3.
I can see that.
I wasn't listening to either of you guys. I'm gonna be honest here. So I'll flex. Man, we said so many bad things about Cortland Sutton earlier, so I can't flex him. So I'm gonna marry Debo, flex DK, and kill Cortland Sutton. I also don't like that offense. I think we're in 3 situations where they're not very good. But
So you agreed with me.
Is that what you said? I told you I didn't listen.
I know.
All right.
Okay. And that'll do it for this show and for this whole network, because that can never happen again. All right. Next up, at the flex position, you got Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, and Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson won, especially with Marv out. That guy's a beast. We'll go Michael Wilson, and then flex Michael Pittman, kill Zay Flowers. I think that's the only right order, but you guys go ahead and speak your opinion.
Here, I'm gonna go first.
I think he called you out.
What?
Mason called you out.
Why?
Yeah, because he said that's the only right opinion, but you can give yours.
Oh, well. All right. Yeah, Michael Wilson. I agree. I agree with Mason. That's the only right order. Flowers has kind of been kind of mid since Lamar's been back. You would have thought that he'd get that tick. But Lamar's kind of been going to Mark Andrews a lot more. Got 90-year-old Mark Andrews an extension. So yeah, Michael Wilson, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers. Compelling stuff, guys. Compelling.
Yes.
Great.
Well, I
agree.
mean, Mark Andrews is the same age as Baker Mayfield. They were college teammates, so I don't know. I guess tight end has a shorter shelf life. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do Zay Flowers again. Okay. Mason Rudolph. Zay
No, I
Flowers.
changed it. Sorry, I didn't change it in the note. So DeAndre Swift, Tyler Warren, and Aaron Jones.
Okay. What he said.
Warren, Swift, Jones. For me, I think that Tyler Warren is like a tight end, or he's like a wide receiver there in Indy. So I like the target share he gets, and then Swift, he's been pretty good this year. Aaron Jones, I can't say too much about. I haven't watched much of the Vikings, but I like the
They're
Bears
bad.
offense a little more than the Vikings offense, especially with JJ McCarthy. I think he's coming back this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe kind of talked about this on his Sunday night show last week. Has anybody, like, maybe in the history of football, gotten worse quarterback play than the Minnesota Vikings this year? Like, it's been bad.
Bears.
Like, in a single season?
Yeah.
Including one of the guys who's the number 1 pick, or like the first round pick. Like, I don't even think that at any point Trubisky was even this bad.
Oh, you can go back before the Trubisky era and find some bad stuff. I would also argue the year that the year before the Colts took Peyton Manning, or was it the year before Andrew Luck? I think it was the year before Andrew Luck. Whoever was quarterback that year was incompetent.
I'm going to need you to give me a name. So that'd have been like 1996. Was it like Jim Harbaugh?
No, Harbaugh was decent. No, it was a long, blonde-haired dude.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Got him that Andrew Luck pick.
Yeah, because the whole season was suck for Luck.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Andrew Luck? I was thinking I was still going on Peyton Manning. Oh, so you're talking about the Colts.
Yes.
I thought you said the Bears. Yeah, I can see Curtis Painter.
Yeah,
that's it.
From
Purdue guy, wasn't he?
No,
bad.
Matt Painter. Maybe. Yeah, Purdue. I was thinking Matt Painter's the basketball coach, so there's no way that it could have been. Yeah, he was 0 for 8 as a starting quarterback. 0 and 8 as a starter that year. Let's see who else they played that year. I'll allow that. But the quarterback play for the Vikings has been really bad.
I hope JJ McCarthy figures it out.
We probably shouldn't besmirch Max Brosmer at any point because he was born in the same hospital as me and maybe even Mason.
Genesis East.
Yeah, probably not Doug. They didn't have hospitals back when Doug was born. But
We didn't have Genesis back then, I can tell you that much.
well, it was St. Luke's when I was born.
Yeah, no. I was born at Lutheran Public.
Luther Burden?
Yeah, him too. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. I don't know who they're part of now. Anywho,
So,
so
guys, I'm putting together a couple DFS lineups for us to have fun with.
okay, you do that. All right, Mason, you got any flash predictions for this week? I know this is your favorite.
Yeah. Got a few. So I think that it is pretty crazy that the Commanders are 1.5 point favorites. We talked about how bad the Vikings quarterback play has been, and I know their defense will probably keep them in it. But Jaden Daniels been practicing for 2 weeks, so I don't think he's gonna be too rusty. So yeah, Washington will cover 1.5. What's another one? I think that Houston wins outright against Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, that number is stupid.
Kansas City's 3.5 point favorites at the moment, and we talked about how Kansas City offensive players probably aren't super viable this week. And then fantasy, I'll give a couple. I think Michael Wilson goes for 20 plus this week, just because of what he's done with Jacoby Brissett. Other than last week when Marv came back, he was over 20 both weeks.
What's Marv's injury now?
I knew it. I just forgot it. Let me look it up real quick. It is a heel injury. So, not sure.
Came back from appendectomy too quick.
Yeah. And then I'll go. Yeah, I'll wait for quarterback one. But yeah, I'll go Harvey. 18.2 points.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to see if there's any good prop bets here. So I'm putting together a couple of DFS lineups. Games that I'm looking at stacking is that Cincinnati Buffalo game.
Yeah.
I think that you could stack either side. Cash gets a little tight when you think about stacking like Chase. But you could go guys like Josh Allen, along with James Cook, and you can even fit Khalil Shakir in there. There's no real way to bring it back, which if you have watched this show, you know that bring it back is a thing that I really like to do. The thing that you're going to run into is James Cook is going to probably be in almost everybody's lineups, as is Jamar Chase. Other interesting stacks for me would be, we kind of talked about this earlier. You could go Stafford and Adams, and then you can also in that game bring it back with a Michael Wilson, which I think is a good idea. Luther Burden's probably going to be in a lot of lineups, so he's somebody I probably stay away from, unless, again, because we kind of talked about that previously, is you have to be content with Luther Burden could score 0 or he could go off. Bo Nix and Evan Ingram are interesting stack, and you have enough cash in there depending on what you do other places with to go Brock Bowers.
I don't like Brock Bowers this week. The the last time he played Denver, he only had 1 catch. So
He's been
and
hot. He's been hot lately.
I know he has, and Zach Ertz just had like 1,000,000 catches against Denver on Sunday Night Football. So,
Yeah,
but it's because the Raiders, like, that's the only threat that they have.
for
So
sure.
they'll 6 or 10 on him or Barron, and yeah, I don't know. But I have Bowers, and you can't bench him, but
Right.
it's yeah, Bowers is
Yeah,
scary
but
for this
talking
week.
DFS,
Yeah, I know.
but no, that's what I'm saying. Talking DFS, you do have that ability to kind of say, okay, this we're not doing this today.
Yeah,
It's an expensive stack, and I think it's something I stay away from anyway. I think Seattle clears, but I think that there's I'm staying away from stacking Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Atlanta both gets to the quarterback, and they have a good secondary. So I think that that's something I stay away from DFS wise. Doug's getting blown up over there,
yeah, it is.
or he's playing Space Invaders.
No.
Was Space
No.
Invaders even out when you were born, Doug?
Yes.
He did.
Was it? Wait, when I was born? No. But I was like 3. I was a wee lad.
According to our friends at Props AI, Jonathan Taylor's ownership's like super low this week. Debo's also a guy who's not owned very well or very high. They're expecting less than 5% of teams to run Debo Samuel. So that's another thing. I think that there's like the benefit of looking at the guys who are lower owned, but at the same time, is if 70% of teams are starting James Cook, and James Cook is the top scorer, and you're like, I'm going to be different. Like 70 is obviously high, but you're like, I'm going to be different. You're going to play yourself right out of the money.
Yeah.
So look at me thinking I'm a DFS expert.
I wonder
Hey,
how
quick
high
question.
Chase Brown is.
Go.
How high who?
Chase Brown
In ownership or salary?
ownership.
Let me look. I was going to say salary. He's 6,700. What were you going to say, Dougie?
I was going to say, just a quick question. What are your feelings on playing Daniel Jones on a broken leg today?
In DFS or in general?
Well, either one, but probably just in general.
I'm not a huge fan
I
of
mean,
it.
he wasn't like awful last week against Houston. He wasn't good, but he seemed to be moving around okay. Who do they play?
Excellent question. Let me.
Against Jacksonville, who also gets after it.
I mean,
I don't remember naming him over guys I'd start over Patrick Mahomes.
You didn't name Caleb Williams either, and I'm still mad at you about that.
Sorry. Hi, Caitlin.
Hi. We say hi.
We're live. We're on the show. Get out of here. I'm going to switch Doug cameras so we don't have to see her anymore. Whoa. It kind of looks like me and Mason are kind of in the same room.
it does a little bit because of the ceiling lines up perfectly right there.
Yeah, I'd probably shy away from Daniel Jones a little.
Well,
you're probably in a situation where you don't have a better option this week because you've kind of probably been like, yeah, this is our guy.
Yeah.
But
even without injury, though, he's only a guy that scores. I mean, he's had some games in the 20s, so I can't say only in the teens, but since week 8, he hasn't had a game over 20. And on that broken leg, it's not something that I would feel comfortable starting. In the Chopped League that I'm in, I had the chance to pick up him over Jared Goff, and I liked Jared Goff a lot better due to matchup.
It's fair.
Yeah, very fair.
To answer your question previously, Mason, Chase Brown's projected ownership is around like 11%.
That's crazy to me because Buffalo has a terrible run defense.
Correct.
And he gets a ridiculous amount of targets, so that's who I'd spend my money on if I was doing DFS.
When you asked about him, I was already putting him in my lineup, which is the funny thing.
Great minds think alike.
I'm kind of curious about Josh Jacobs, what his projected ownership is. The Bears, I mean, they're getting their linebackers back. They haven't been great. 9% ownership. So, according to this, your chalk lineup: Allen, Cook, Jacobs, Olave, Wilson, McLaurin, Strange, Fannin, and Washington's defense. So,
And what's the total budget? I never done DFS.
great question.
I-
You get
I've seen it before.
less than what I spent, but more than I wanted to, or some other way around. 50,000.
Okay. So yeah, Chase Brown's pretty good value.
Let's run through some player props here if I can get anything to pop up. Player props that are probably going to be extinct after this year because NBA players ruined everything. Name a game. Somebody name a game.
Poker.
You're the worst.
Go Cincy Buffalo, since we were just talking about
Cincy Buffalo. Apply. All right. Let's go. James Cook. Over under 104.5 rushing yards.
I'd probably go. Oh, I feel like the ones that seem free are not. So I'd probably go under.
Yeah. His projection, according to bettingpros.com, is they're projecting for 95.5. So, yeah, here's another one that seems free. T. Higgins over under 58.5 receiving yards.
It does seem free. I'd go over on that, even though it seems too good to be true. Like, what's another one? Seems
Chase Brown over under 50.5 rushing yards.
50.5. He's been so good since Burrow came back. Really, since Flacco took over. The whole second half of the season, he's been great. That seems really low.
You can get over 50.5 for minus 112 on FanDuel.
That's not bad.
Let's go to Bears Packers here. Maybe. Caleb Williams over under 187.5 passing yards.
What do you think, Doug?
I think if he goes over that, they win.
He has gone over 187.5 passing yards 83% of the time this year, including 80%. So in 4 of the last 5, he's gone over 187.5 passing yards.
I'm looking at the receiving props for the Packers receivers, and they are all so low. Like Jaden Reed,
57.5 for Watson.
Yeah, Jaden Reed's 21.5, Wicks 23.5,
34.5 for Dobbs.
Musgrave 11.5 on Underdog.
10.5 on DraftKings. So
Wow. That's kind of because you think that's just one catch. Like it shouldn't be that
Yeah.
hard.
right.
Who knows?
Let's go to Houston, Kansas City here.
I bet those are low.
Stroud at 222.5. Mahomes at 235.5.
Under.
Rashee Rice,
Under.
70.5 receiving yards, which he's hit in 4 of his last 5.
Noah Gray's 7.5 receiving yards. Nick Chubb's only 16.5 rushing yards. It seems like he should get that pretty easily.
Mahomes at 21.5 rushing yards. I think you hammer that.
Yeah.
Because he's going to, I mean, obviously, it's like not like college where you lose rushing yards for getting sacked. So,
Is that how it is in betting?
in college, the quarterback loses rushing yards. So in the NFL, you lose net passing yards.
Oh, I always wondered that because when I played the college football game last year, I wouldn't run, but I'd get sacked and I'd have let's say I have like
Negative
7
500
rushes
rushing
for
yards.
negative 12 yards. What?
Yeah. Yep. So in college and high school, sacks go against your
Wow.
rushing, but in the NFL, it goes against your net passing. So that's why you'll see on an NFL box score where a guy threw for like 230 yards, but they had 214 yards of passing,
Okay.
which is weird.
Yeah, I didn't know
but
that.
Now you learned something today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hashtag washed up sports writer. Hey Doug, speaking of washed up sports writer, is that that state of Illinois? What is that? Is that just a decoration
Where?
over your
That is a Cubs state of Illinois. Thank you very much.
gross. I didn't know. So like the Cubs, save the pieces. The Cubs logo kind of looks like a plaque type of plaque.
Yeah. Got that at the clearance bin at Farm and Fleet.
The like I said before, the NFL draft show plaque over your shoulder looks kind of cool.
Yes. Couldn't buy it.
Mason, every year, and if you don't move to a different state before next April, every year we go to Kavanaugh's and we do a live show during the NFL draft.
That would be fun.
So
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the plan is
It's
to get out
chaos.
of here, but probably not by that. Probably not by that time.
it is chaotic. It is very chaotic. All right, Doug. If you want to go to the last segment, we can go home early today.
Woohoo!
You've got to go out and shovel. So,
I'm going back to bed, man.
did you shop till you dropped yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Did you win your basketball game?
I did not go to the basketball game.
You're a coach. How can you not go to the basketball game?
I'm an assistant coach,
Lame. Yeah.
and
You got to show these kids they got to show up for everything.
they're like 8, 9, and 10 years old.
I don't care if you're coaching Mason. Still got to show up.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah, that's on me, Doug.
Yeah.
It was late, man. It felt like the day had been going for a really long time. I'm gonna be honest. Somebody, while we were shopping yesterday, suggested maybe next year we break it into 2 shopping trips, and I don't usually agree with that person, but man,
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Thank you. See, I knew I liked that.
I just don't know that I could do two weekends of that. Like that's just.
It doesn't have to be 2 weekends of that. Like one of us could go one and one of us could go the other.
That's fair.
Yes. All right. First up, who? Tyson. I'm already on Percy Jackson on Wednesday. Mason, who is your quarterback 1 for this week?
Quarterback 1 is Jaden Daniels.
I'll go Josh Allen.
I will go. Give me Joe Cool. Give me Burrow.
It's snowing in Buffalo. That should be.
RB1.
Good Chase.
Well, it's
Brown
gonna be.
against
It's gonna
Buffalo.
be Gibbs because he put up 37.
Yeah.
But that notwithstanding, as we do every week, I'll go Devin Achane. That's an interesting game. So I saw a stat earlier this week that the that Tua's like 0-7 under like 40 degrees, but the Giants are 0-6 against Tua. So like one of them has to break today. They'll probably tie. That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
As they'll probably tie
Probably.
because neither of those things end.
Both those teams are terrible this year.
They are not good.
That's no bueno.
The
Big
Dolphins
Bijan,
tried to lose to the Saints in the weirdest way possible last week.
I know. And Olave dropped a touchdown to potentially end it.
And then they ran the tush push on 4th down and didn't get it.
Yeah.
Lame.
Bad teams are so bad in overtime. It's like it's like a microcosm of what they are. Like I was thinking about a couple of weeks ago when Arizona played Jacksonville and they had a 4th and 4 needing a score in overtime to continue the game, and Brissett just throws it 60 yards. Like there was no better
it was
option
silly.
than just checking it down there, guy.
Nope.
Maybe that's why bad teams are bad.
That is why bad teams are bad. See, Eberflus era. Did we already do the wide receivers, or was that?
No. We didn't
no
do
wide
that.
receivers.
Okay. Give me the wideouts.
AJ Brown for me.
I will go. Give me Puka.
Give me JSN. Going out on a limb.
I was gonna say JSN, but then Puka looked more attractive.
Looks have nothing to do with it.
Shut up.
10-1 this week.
Kyle Pitts.
Did you let Mason go?
Yeah, he let me go. I just looked back up at the screen and I thought Joe was with us. I forgot that the picture of Joe was on there. Yeah, Kyle Pitts for tight end 1 this week with Kirk Cousins playing.
McBride.
The name Dalton Kincaid jumps out at me, so we're going to go with him. Because that's my scientific method.
I mean, that's not a bad call.
That's usually when I hit those ones that everybody's like, holy shit, Doug got one.
What was it earlier this year? You picked Romeo Dobbs the week he scored 3 tutters.
Yeah.
Doug remembers his one.
I get one, man. I get one every year. All right. Game you're watching that doesn't involve your team.
Doug's going to go to bed and then wake up to watch the Bears game at 3:25.
That's exactly my plan.
I would go. I'm really interested in the Commanders game, Commanders Vikings, even though it's probably gonna be an ugly game. But other than that, I think Bengals and Bills is gonna be the most entertaining game to watch.
I'm going to watch the Red Zone channel all day.
That's what I'm gonna do.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to watch a single second of the exclusiveness of the Bears and Packers game. And then I'm going to tell when the Bears lose to the Packers, I'm going to tell them about how bad they were and how terrible Caleb looked, even though I only saw plays inside the 20-yard line. But since Joe's not here, I am going to build Joe's quad box for him.
Okay.
This is just so what I would quad box if I was watching NFL Sunday Ticket, which I might just log on to Joe's YouTube TV and watch NFL Sunday Ticket today and quad box it. But I really like the Red Zone channel. So
I do too. It's really fun.
my quad box, I will tell you though, the day I quad boxed it, I had one of them was the Red Zone channel, and it was just overload in my brain, and I just could not do it. Like I was fine with during the Ryder Cup, I was able to watch. I think it was Chiefs Raiders that day, the Ryder Cup on my phone, and I think there was maybe a playoff baseball game going that I was watching on my computer. And I was able to do that, but putting 4 games up on the TV was just emotional overload for me. Can't do it. It's fine for college football, probably because I'm not invested in anything college related, unless Illinois or Alabama or Central Florida are playing. I'm not invested, but I would watch those primary, But trying to watch what fantasy players are doing what on all 4 of these games was just information overload. But anyway, Joe's quad box, Cincy Buffalo, Indy Jacksonville, Pittsburgh Baltimore, and Seattle Atlanta is the quad box for Joe today. I'm going to force him to watch those games. I'm going to go to his house, and I'm going to set up his quad box for him.
You think he's out of time out with Nicole yet?
I don't know. I asked him if he was done getting his tongue lashed. Usually never mind. That's I can't say that.
You can't say that.
So yeah, that's the quad box for Joe. Somewhere Jordan Rangel's watching the college football playoff selection show, hoping Notre Dame does not get left out. They're revealing it in a minute 52 if we want to stay on here.
What, the college football playoff?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? We're supposed to be here until 11:30 anyways.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on here. If you want to get your questions in, if you're still watching, want to get your questions in, we will still answer questions. I can't, for legal purposes, actually put up the stream of the college football playoff. But as they reveal them, I'll pass them up. Doug's probably got it on his TV.
No, I have the fantasy show up just to because
That's where Doug. We ask a question on here, and like Doug's like, "Well, what's Stefania say?"
yeah, that's pretty much that's the way I do it. That's how we roll.
Where's Mina Kimes? I don't think she's on that show. Who is on that show?
A bunch
now?
of
Is it
nobodies.
Will Field the Eight still on it?
Yes, him and Stefania Bell and a bunch of guys with man buns. That's the one thing about our network. We promise no man buns.
Nick Ball can man bun it from time to time
If he has to. But we'll allow that with Nick Bull.
for 3 more weeks.
Nick Bull's got beautiful hair, and we'll allow that for Nick Bull.
He does. He does have incredible flow.
But everybody else, no.
Mason, what'd you have for breakfast today? We know Doug had a strawberry Pop-Tart.
I had a cinnamon roll Pop-Tart. Not brown sugar cinnamon, but cinnamon roll. And it's delicious. And then I had an actual cinnamon roll.
I thought you didn't like grape.
Me? I love grape. Grape's my favorite flavor.
What?
I drank a grape drink yesterday.
You gave me a grape drink yesterday.
Yeah, I ordered 3 of them. I said, well, there'll be no arguments if I just order what I'm getting.
Yeah,
You gotta be
that
one
worked
of
out for you.
one of the 5 people on the planet that grape is their favorite flavor.
Grape's the best flavor.
I like grape everything except jelly.
Yeah, grape jelly.
Do you like grape jam?
Yeah, no grape jam. Nothing. I don't know why. I just don't.
They keep highlighting the 6 and 7 on everybody's jersey. I think we need to cancel ESPN.
I'm all for that.
Hey, Mason, I'm banning everybody from saying what the Chiefs' record is if they lose tonight. It's banned from the network.
Okay. I won't say it though. It would be funny though.
I can't believe Indiana won last night.
I know I was working. I wasn't able to watch it. It's a game I really wanted to watch though.
You work too much.
Well, I picked up a couple extra hours because they were super busy. So
Those coloring books
busy.
aren't going to mark in themselves.
busy because of people like you buying thousands of dollars worth of toys.
Listen, the people at Walmart were so nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. I don't usually like going to
don't-
Walmart.
I don't think they would have been as nice as if we would have just rolled up with 5 carts and expected somebody to cash us out. But the fact that we gave them
Warning.
pre-warned. So, Doug, when you're shopping,
Yes.
and something is like $6.78, is it $7?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if something's like $17.98? Is it $18 or is it $20?
Probably 8. It depends. Depends on what the item is.
I'm always under the idea that nobody else is rounding up, so I always round up.
Oh, we are. No, everybody's rounding up.
Even though I automatically like take out for tax when I tell people their money.
Mhm. We still account for tax doing that.
They're doing the playoff right now.
Indiana number 1, as per. Even though Ohio State had a better loss.
Yep.
Nobody cares. Just tell us the numbers, guy.
Yeah. I think when we go to the shopping is everybody's so used to buying toys for 1 or 2 kids, they're thinking in 1s and 2s, where we really need to be thinking in 5s and 10s.
Instead of buying like 1 or 2 of the same thing, we can buy 5 of the same thing.
Mhm.
I think largely we got to a few places and we said, all right, we're just buying $100 worth of this or $50 worth.
That's what I do with
That's
the board games. They were like $20, so I just grabbed 5 of them.
Ohio State number 2. It's also easier to add.
Yeah.
Like we bought $100 worth of those headphones.
Did we ever get those?
We bought those wireless over the ear
Okay.
headphones.
But we didn't get the ones that were on lockdown.
No.
We're still waiting for somebody to show up with a key.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the Ohio State guy missed a field goal. Number 3, drum roll, please. It's got to be Georgia, right?
Is that how they lost? Was a missed field goal for Ohio State?
Ohio State, yeah. Missed a game-tying field goal with like 4 minutes left to go.
I heard it was
I
a
think it
short
was
field
from
goal. I never saw the highlights of the game though.
Yeah, it was like it was a short one. College field goals are weird because their hash marks
Yeah.
are so far out.
Are the
Yep,
posts
Georgia
the
number
same
3.
width as NFL posts?
Yeah.
They never look like it on TV.
Well, it's because you're so much further out.
Yeah.
There was a team in like Michigan that were supposed to like host a high school playoff game,
hmm
and somebody like of the opposing team like flew a drone over their goalposts and said that they're not wide enough. They're not high school regulation. So they were either going to make the team forfeit or make them go play at this other school. They tore the field goal posts down, welded them back together at the correct width, and put them back up. And then they beat the team that complained 63-6.
Jeez.
So we had to do it.
Number 4, Texas Tech. Bless you. Or is that a dog?
No, that was the wife.
Bless you. Patrick Mahomes is going to be happy. He'll have plenty of time to watch Texas Tech play in the playoffs. And like he'll be preparing for
Yes.
the playoffs. We should just, while this was happening, we should have just looped Joe's FSU meltdown.
I can live without hearing that again.
It was fantastic. Hey, Mason, at some point you'll have to search on Twitter. So Illinois basketball beat Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they got a guitar as a trophy. You'll have to go search the video of it.
Oregon number 5.
Illinois.
Playing outstanding. Kenyon Sadiq, the best tight end in America. The physicality they exude. Another team that understands what their identity are. Haven't always played up to their bar throughout
That
the
booger?
season.
They broke it.
Yeah, but look at like how surprised everybody else is that he did it. Like the coach just kind of stops the guy behind it. It's like, what the fuck just
Yeah,
happened?
that's funny.
Oregon 5. I know Doug just said that.
Thanks, Andy.
Wow, that's a good one. Throwback reference.
Do what I can.
Huh?
Do what I can.
Greg, that is a tremendous setup because it plays a huge role in who your first
Ole Miss.
opponent is.
Who's Ole Miss's coach?
Um,
Now, seeded 6, they'll play it all
Something
against
Weiss.
the 11 seed once we get that, which will be
Oh yeah, no, but it's this kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And then they're letting him coach, and then he's gonna go be a coordinator for Kiffin at LSU, which is so weird.
it is weird.
James Madison's letting their guy coach the college football playoff, and he got hired at UCLA.
I guess it's,
My dad,
it's because of how Kiffin handled it.
yeah, my dad just texted me and asked me if I saw when Indiana last won the Big Ten, and it was 1967.
You're banned from this network.
I was reiterating my dad's joke. Texas A&M number 7.
Look at that beautiful maroon color.
It's not beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Maroon's like the worst color in the rainbow. It's not even in the rainbow. That's how bad it is.
At least my school colors aren't the same color as McDonald's.
And my favorite NFL team, so I have to buy less clothes. Your mascot is just a color. At least ours is a tangible thing.
Oh yes, because a rock inspires greatness.
Better than a maroon.
Yeah, I've always thought that Moline's mascot was weird coming from Iowa.
Yeah. So up your nose with rubber hose.
Whatever. Oklahoma's up next.
That's 8, right?
Yep.
Sure.
The defense has stepped up and made plays, created opportunity to make
Your microwave is loud, Doug. Sorry for coughing at you guys.
That's all right.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick because I sat between CZ and Joe yesterday at lunch, just hacking their lungs out.
Oh,
Because of what we mentioned again, I just want to emphasize this. I'm not trying to talk to everybody like they're kindergarten.
so BYU's automatically number 11. Oh, this was the pending. Never mind. This was last week's rankings. BYU got trounced by Texas Tech.
How much?
What?
How much?
They lost by like 20 something, I think. Is Notre? I mean, the question is like, is Notre Dame getting in?
Right.
I wish. Oh, Alabama's in. I think that means Notre Dame's out.
Yeah, because it's gotta be a group of 5 team.
Yeah, they have to have a group of 5, which would be James Madison likely.
Yeah.
Where's Jordan Rangel? We need to let him into here so we can either see his happiness or sadness if they're not in. I think with Alabama being in, they're out because you got James Madison for sure. I don't if they put another group of 5. Oh, son of a monkey. So they have 2 left.
10 is got 3, 10, 11, and 12.
Well, one's guaranteed to be a group of 5.
But they're too busy yapping and not enough.
Right? Who is microwaving for 9 minutes?
The kid, she's making cinnamon rolls, I think.
In the microwave?
I'm sure she's like melting butter or something.
Caitlin, what are you doing?
The guys want to know what you're microwaving.
Miami in.
My cinnamon roll.
You're microwaving your cinnamon roll.
Hey, at least she's not microwaving her sibling. Miami's a 10.
So now the question is BYU in? And they only lost 1 game, and it was to Texas Tech. Well, yeah, because they beat Texas Tech in the regular season. I think they're out. I think Notre Dame's out.
I think they are too. I think BYU is gonna be in.
Whoever that was, Doug, your text sounds like the call button at a hospital.
Yeah, that's my sound for you.
Aw.
Change their resume. It was complete when we had to rank on Tuesday. And so if we're going to make sense of this, as we're trying to watch it play out, if you want it to make sense, then make sense. If the resume was done on Tuesday, and on Tuesday,
I love how mad these guys are about things.
2 teams were sitting on the couch. Somehow,
Hopefully one day I'll be able to watch this and see if my team's ever gonna make it.
Same.
You cheer for Alabama. You're guaranteed in every year. Get out of my face.
My primary team's Illinois.
Get out of here. Your primary team is whichever one's winning.
Which is rarely Illinois. So that's why you don't think that I love Illinois.
Just think that you're a fair weather bandwagon hopper. Just tell us who's next.
Notre Dame's 10. Oklahoma already. No, they're not.
No, Miami's 10.
That was Miami.
Yes.
Yeah. FanDuel put up Miami against Oklahoma. Tulane's the group of 5.
Tulane. Never thought I'd live in a world where Tulane was in
Tulane.
college football playoff.
Tulane Ole Miss could be hopping, dude.
Are they both like heavy offensive teams?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a good crowd because Tulane is in Louisiana and Ole Miss is in Mississippi. Statistically, I'm looking forward that there could be a Penn State Iowa State bowl game.
That would be cool.
I can't believe Campbell left.
I think it was a good move for both of them. I think it was a good move. This is where Jordan's now going to complain that a group of 5 team they allowed a group of 5 team in. What?
James Madison.
Holy cow!
How many losses does Notre Dame have?
I think they lost 2.
That's crazy. BYU didn't make it.
Yeah, no BYU, no Notre Dame, both super crazy. I mean, this is like the first time where you can say Notre Dame was hurt by not playing in a conference.
Yep.
Wow.
Why aren't they in a conference? Like, is there some reason they're so adamant about not being in one?
I don't know. I would. Yeah, Notre Dame was 10-2.
It was first team.
And
They're the first team out.
And BYU was 11-2.
And BYU is the second team out.
Wow. All right. Well, I guess that's going to do it for the sitting here watching
College football preview / 4 fantasy stake.
Yeah. So good luck in week 14. Again, I want to thank everybody who donated and played in the Toys for Tots leagues. If you're still watching this or you do tune in afterwards, I sent out a survey for everybody to take. Just kind of, we want to get better for next year. Only way to do that is to get feedback. As my boss says, feedback is a gift. So yeah, good luck. We'll be back next week with week 15. So good luck.